Hey, it's Sebastian with Candle Business Pro. This is probably gonna be the least candle video that I've made, but it's very important. Actually, it might be one of the most important ones. So I am gonna do this video on the FinCEN BOI rumors that you may see going around. It's, hey, you got to get this filed by the end of the year, or the government's gonna fine you $500 a day, or some say $390 a day, or right here I'm seeing $591 a day. What the heck is this? What do I got to do to make sure I'm in compliance? So I'm going to just walk you through that really quick. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network is an agency that the Department of Treasury created. And the BOI is the beneficial ownership information. So we got to file a BOIR, which is the beneficial ownership information report with FinCEN. Essentially, they are trying to prevent money laundering from happening. And so they've created this new agency, and we have to submit this report to tell them that we are certifying who in fact is the beneficiaries of our entity. So if you have an LLC, sole proprietor, any type of entity, there's very few that are exempt, but we'll get to that in just a moment. So I'm showing you my screen here. And when I put in FinCEN BOI, now I am going to put the proper link in the description below. But if for some reason you're out there searching or when you don't see this video anymore and you're searching instead of using the link, make sure you don't click on the wrong thing. All of these here that say sponsored, a lot of this is scams. I believe this one here, I just got this pop up. Yeah, a dangerous blocker for malware. So be very careful on what you click on. And a lot are trying to charge people like $250 to file this for you. We're going to walk through it. It's super simple to do. So just make sure you find the right website. Again, it's in the links below, but right here, it's fincen.gov. And then you'll see this BOI e-filing system. But I'm just going to go to the main page to show you what this looks like here. Just so if you're doing it, you make sure that you get to the right place. Here we are. This is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network's page. You can read all kinds of information on here about why they're doing it. They also have a demo on here as well. They'll walk you through it, but I'm gonna do that right now. So right here under File. So there's two options here. I'm going to select the first one, but the second one is to create a FinCEN ID. FinCEN ID. What that is it is so that you would have a login with a unique identifier. Kind of like when you file your taxes at the end of the year, it's like, would you like the IRS to create a unique PIN for you? And then if you say yes, then you go and try to file at the end of your tax forms, and it's, oh, you got to wait till you get that thing in the mail because now it's gonna have a number for you to put in all that stuff. You do not need to create a FinCEN ID. You can put in your information right here into the system each time. So that's what I'm going to do. So if I'm going to select the top option here to file a report using the BOI e-filing system. All right. And then you can either select up top here, or you can select down here at the bottom left. Either one will get to the same place. We are going to file this. Click here. And then there's two options here. One's a download a PDF and do it in Adobe Reader. I don't want to do that. I want to use the online, the web submission. So when I click on this, it's going to tell you, hey, this is the government. This is a government site. You should only be using this for authorized purposes, yada, yada. Just click agree. All right. And you see here where this tab is in blue and the gray's out. These are the steps we're going through here. We're going to put in the filing information about the actual filing itself. Then we're going to put in the reporting company, which generally will be your, in fact, company. You're not doing one company on behalf of another company. If you have a shell company that owns companies within it, that's what this would be. That's where there might be a little different. So we're going to put in the filing information, then the reporting company, then the company applicant, which is going to be yourself filling this out on behalf of the company, and then who the beneficial owners of the company are, which could be you and a spouse, you and a friend, who you own this company with, who's going to benefit from the potential profits of your company, or who would then also be liable for potential losses and debts. Super simple. Let's go through it here. Since this is the first ones that are due, generally this is going to be an initial report for your type of filing. So generally, if you open your business up in 2024, you would have been directed from the IRS that this needs to be completed within 90 days from when you open it. So if I open a company on July 1st of this year, 2024, then I would have needed to have already done this within 90 days. However, any business that was formed prior to January 1 of 2024 is now due by the end of the year. So this is in fact our initial report. Again, if you're new, you may have already done this, which then you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So the other options here would be to correct it. If you file one incorrectly, you can correct it here. You can update, if you're newly exempt, things like that. So this is going to be an initial report for most people, and it is for us. Here is today's date. And then down below here just has a Privacy Act and the Paperwork Reduction Act, just saying, hey, we're doing this online, but it's still is just as valid as if you were to sign paperwork. Essentially, you can read that if you like. And I'm going to click next. And then here is where, again, you can hit this drop down to see about any of this stuff, but I am not going to request to receive a FinCEN ID. I'm not going to do that. And then we are not a foreign pooled investment vehicle. Again, you probably wouldn't be watching this if you were. So let's get down to business here. So what is the reporting company's legal name? And then if you have a alternative name. So for instance, Garnet Beacon Candle Company, LLC is one of my brands. But we don't go by the LLC. Like we don't on our branding and all that stuff. We're not Garnet Beacon Candle Company, LLC. We're just Garnet Beacon Candle Co. So that's how I would file this. Again, I would not put the LLC down here because this is basically your DBA. If you're doing businesses more than that, just one, then you can click here to add an alternative name. You can just keep adding more if you'd like here. And then the forms of identification. So for most of us, we would probably do the EIN, which is the employer identification number. This is the number that you received when you filed to create your entity with the IRS. The IRS sends you, it's a 9-digit number. It'll be 2 numbers and then a dash and then 7 numbers. Now, whenever I select EIN here, then number here, number 8, the tax ID number. So this is where I got to put in those 9 digits. Do not put the dash in. It won't accept it with the dash in there. And you'll just have to go back and take it out. And then you're going to have to select the country if you are doing a foreign tax ID. We're not. So it just defaults to a US business. And then there's going to be a jurisdiction. So this is where we do have to select the United States as where we formed the company. And then here is going to be the state. We are in Michigan. So I'm going to fill that out. And then we are not part of any tribal here. And then the current US address. Again, this is the company information here. We'll get to doing your personal information shortly. This is where the company. So I'm going to put in the company's information here. There again is that Privacy Act and Paperwork Reduction Act. And then I'm going to click next. So I'm going to show you what that looks like now. Okay, here. So on the next page, we are at number 16. And this talks about existing reporting company. So this again is if we created our company prior to January 1, 2024, which we did. So I am going to select yes, and then it's going to gray out the rest of these fields here because this is all information that would be necessary if we had created the business this year, but we didn't. So we are, even though these all have the asterisk, we are actually going to go past all of it because I can't click on any of it because I had selected yes up there in that first one. So I am going to click next here, and then it's going to give us it's going to ask us about the beneficial owner information. And so if you're a parent or guardian, you would select that here. Again, there is a need help drop down if you need to understand any of that. This is pretty straightforward. Again, I do not have a FinCEN ID. I am not an exempt entity. Again, we talked about that earlier as well. And so now I'm going to put in all of my legal information here, my residential address, so where you live, again, as a beneficiary, and then the forms of identification. So here it is going to allow me to put in my driver's license number. You can also put in your passport if you would like. So I'll put in my driver's license number here, and then it's going to ask me for the state and all of that. And then I do need to put in a document, and it does allow images. So I'm just going to drag and drop a photocopy of my driver's license in there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to click next here. All right, so we are to the final page here, the submit section here. So we just need to put in our email address and then our first and last name here. So I'm going to put in all of that information here, and then I'm going to select agree here, which obviously it's now telling me that I haven't filled out that information. And then I am going to have to select that I am a human here in the CAPTCHA and then submit this. And so let me do that right now. All right, so I clicked submit and we are filing now. So it says it takes up to a couple of minutes. It doesn't take very long at all here. And there you have it. It does say don't forget to download a transcript. Essentially what it is, it's just a confirmation number here. It's got our information here and we're all set. That's it. That's all you have to do for this. Very straightforward. Again, the only things that you need is your driver's license or your passport. So you can put that information in. And then you'll need your business's EIN number that will come on that IRS document from when you initially registered your business with the IRS. So those are the only 2 things you need. There's nothing to pay. That's it. So hopefully this video helped you out. If there's anything I can help you with related to candles, come join us in Candle Business Pro. We also have a lot of resources free on our website if you would like, or just come hang out and have fun. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care.